When I was young, we'd often hear stories about how rich and wealthy our ancestors were, and how they owned vast tracts of land in the province far, far away. And then we'd ask, how come we don't own any of these vast tracts of land? And the answer my uncles would say is, they gave it up. They said it wasn't worth the fight. I remember thinking, siguro, dapat asyendero na kami ngayon. If only we got our share of the inheritance. Dapat mayaman na kami. Had our grandparents been able to gain control of the land that was their inheritance. But they gave it up. Didn't even put up a fight. Many people would probably say, my grandparents were foolish. Why would any right-thinking person let go of something as valuable as land, that they had rights to as inheritance? But I doubt if they were foolish. I believe they were wiser than most people. They may have been onto something I never fully understood when I was young. Perhaps they had some insight into what's truly of value, something that Jesus actually talked about in his Sermon on the Mount. We find this in the Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." The word meek refers to people who are very gentle, very undemanding. They do not demand for their rights. To be meek is to be the complete reverse of being aggressive or being demanding or always insisting on one's rights. It does not really say that the meek do not have the power to demand for their rights or are in no position to insist on their privilege. One may actually have the power and one may be in the position to make that demand. But the meek do not exert their rights and privileges, even if they can. And sure, it is the meek in the world that are most taken advantage of by people who are very aggressive and demanding. They do not hold on tightly to their rights and privileges. They're willing to let it go. Not because they're forced to, but because they choose to. Because they don't have to. The incredible thing in this passage is that it is the meek that are given an astounding promise that they will inherit the earth. We all understand what an inheritance is. Pamana, di ba? An inheritance is often granted by one who owns it to his offspring or close relatives. And the Lord was saying that the meek shall inherit the earth. Land has always been among the most favored kind of inheritance. Money can be spent away, valuables may get destroyed, but land is permanence. The mind-blowing thing is that the land being referred to here is the entire earth. The whole world is the inheritance. I believe what Jesus was hinting at is that there will come a time when the entire earth will be up for inheritance. And it is those who are not insisting on their privileges, those who are not demanding their rights, and by inference, I guess, those who understand the fleeting nature of life on earth today. And those who believe in the coming world to be recreated by God, the new heaven and the new earth spoken of by John in the book of Revelations. These are the people who will inherit the earth. There is wisdom in not being too demanding of our rights and privileges. There is wisdom in being meek. It is wise for us to be like such a person. Because Jesus promises something that's more than any normal inheritance any person can ever gain in his life. The whole earth is ours in due time. Remember, as we learn to be meek and therefore qualified for the inheritance that God intends to give, faith matters too.